So to decide the anatomical position of the kidney, first of all, the kidney is a retroperitoneal organ, and now we are going to decide the anatomical position. So we are going to keep a few points in mind, like there are two poles, the upper pole and the lower pole, two borders, the medial border and the lateral border, two surfaces, the anterior surface and the posterior surface. So first of all, the upper pole is thicker and broader than the lower pole. The medial border is convex in the upper part and in the lower part, and it is concave in between these two convex structures, and this is known as the hilum. The lateral border is convex and thick. The lateral border lies in a more posterior plane than the medial border. The medial border and the lateral border, they do not lie in the same coronal plane, alright. The lateral border lies in a little posterior plane than the medial border. The upper pole lies closer to the median plane than the lower pole. So the final anatomical position. Now let us discuss the structures passing through the hilum. Before backwards, the first structure that we see is the renal vein, which has a wider lumen and thin wall. Then is the renal artery, which has a smaller lumen and it is thick walled. And then is the pelvis. The pelvis is directed downwards. So now we are going to decide the final anatomical position. The upper pole is closer to the midline than the lower pole, and the lateral border is lying in a more posterior plane than the medial border. So the final anatomical position of the kidney should be somewhat like this. Lateral border in a more posterior plane, the upper pole closer to the median plane. So this is the final anatomical position for the left kidney. Now let us discuss the anterior relation of both the kidneys. First we will discuss the anterior relation of the left kidney and then the right kidney. So the upper pole, the area which includes the upper pole and upper 2/3 part of the medial border, this is known as the suprarenal area. So the suprarenal area is overlapped by the left suprarenal gland. Then on the lateral border and upper 2/3 of the area lies the splenic area. So this splenic area is related to the spleen. Now this is the suprarenal area and this is the splenic area. So the triangular area between the suprarenal area and the splenic area, this triangular area is known as the gastric area, which is related to the posterior-inferior surface of the stomach, and this is separated from the kidney by a cavity of the lesser sac. After this, a strip across the hilum, this area is known as the pancreatic area, alright, and this is related to the body of the pancreas. Now the area below it, we will divide it into two parts. Firstly, the lateral part and the larger medial part. So the lateral part, which is adjacent to the lateral border and adjoining anterior surface, so this part is known as the colic area, which is related to the descending colon and the splenic flexure of the colon. And this area is known as the jejunal area, which is related to the few coils of jejunum. Similarly, we will see the anterior surface of the right kidney. The upper pole and the upper 2/3 of the medial border is known as the right suprarenal area and is related to the right suprarenal gland. Now, the upper 3/4 of the anterior surface is the hepatic area, and this hepatic area is related to the right lobe of the liver. The right lobe of the liver is separated from the kidney via a pouch of Morrison, which is the hepatorenal pouch. The area which is along the medial border of the hilum, this area is known as the duodenal area, and this is related to the second part of the duodenum. So this is the suprarenal area, this is the duodenal area which is related to the second part of the duodenum, this is the hepatic area which is related to the right lobe of the liver. Now we will divide the lower part into two, the medial part and the lateral part. The medial part is known as the jejunal area and the lateral part is known as the colic area. So the jejunal area is related to few coils of the jejunum and the lateral part is related to the hepatic flexure of the colon. Now we will see the posterior relation of the kidney. Posterior relation of the kidney, we are going to discuss it into two parts, the upper part and the lower part. Alright. So the upper part is related to the diaphragm, which is adjoining the medial arcuate ligament and the lateral arcuate ligament, and then is the costodiaphragmatic recess, and then for the right kidney only the 12th rib is related, and for the left kidney 11th and 12th rib. In the lower part we are going to divide it into three parts. The medial most is related to the psoas major muscle, which is covered by iliopsoas fascia. Then the middle part is related to the quadratus lumborum muscle, which is covered by thoracolumbar fascia, and laterally it is related to the transversus abdominis, which is covered by fascia transversalis. Now, in the quadratus lumborum muscle, that is in front of the thoracolumbar fascia, from above downwards there is subcostal nerve and vessels, then iliohypogastric nerve and ilioinguinal nerve. In the right kidney, it may also be related to the fourth lumbar artery, which is not in the left kidney because it lies a little above the right kidney. So that's it. Thank you.